In this video, I'll show you how to edit your header or footer design in the Site Designer. So to get to the Site Designer, you can either hover on this Know dashboard and click Design Options and then Site Designer, or you can also get there by going to Appearance, Design Options, and then Site Designer. So the most important thing is that you're editing the correct header. There's a purple drop down at the top of the header and footer areas that you can click on and you'll see your different header design. Header Design Desktop is going to be the one that you'll see on your homepage. There's also a tablet and mobile version of that header design for those types of devices. So if you make a change, like changing your header graphic on the homepage of the desktop version, you'll also need to go into these versions and update those as well. The minimalist headers are those that are seen on the top of the immersive photo templates. And then you might also have some custom design headers. So something to note is that custom header designs cannot be connected to the homepage. They can only be connected to stories and custom widget-based pages. So if you're trying to edit your homepage header, make sure it says header design desktop and or mobile tablet. You'll also see a drop down in the footer area at the bottom of the Site Designer. So if you're wanting to make changes to your footer, you'll use the same steps, but in this footer design area at the bottom. If you want to adjust any of the settings for the elements that are already on your header, you'll just need to hover in that area and then click the gear that appears to open that element's headings or settings. So for instance, I'm gonna try opening the settings for the site header text. Here I go, I could change all the colors, the fonts. If you want to change the element that's in that area, you can click this back arrow and choose a different element. So let's say I want to put a header graphic there instead of just having a text header. I can choose this header, site header graphic element. And then here I'm prompted to upload my desktop header. So I'll use this image, click use this image, then we'll see it there. You'll also be able to change some other settings if you'd like. When you make any changes in the Site Designer, you need to click Save All Design Options before anything will be reflected on your header. If you want to delete an element that's there, you just need to hover in that area and then you'll see an X on the right side. You can click that. If you want to delete an empty area, same thing, just hover, click the X, and that will be removed. You can also add rows by clicking this add row. You can move the row if you'd like. You're also able to add columns to the row by clicking this gear on the right side and then clicking add column. You can add a couple columns if you want. You can also adjust the height of these areas by putting your cursor on the bottom and then clicking and dragging. Or you can do the width by you putting your cursor on the edge and then clicking and dragging. One issue I see a lot is that people add images to their header and it's not fully showing. And so you might add an image here. And it might be really small also because they still have it like this. So let's look at that. I'm just going to reload my page here. And you'll see it's super small, but I want a bigger ad. So then in that case, you just need to, again, put your cursor at the bottom. You can click and drag to the height you'd like. And then you'll see that image is larger. Another thing that we see a lot that I get a lot of questions about is adjusting the colors on the outer edge. So for that, you're going to click this gear again and click Edit Row Styles. So you have a couple options here. Usually yours will be set to color or extend full browser width. So if it's color, extend full browser width, the color you set here will go to the edges of the screen past the header design. So just so you can see what that looks like, I'm going to set it to this blue, save my options, and then I'll go ahead and reload that page. And you can see the color for that row is extended all the way to the edge. If I wanted to adjust it in here, that would be in the settings for here. I could set this to transparent, or I could set that color in that area. Another thing that you can do in the Edit Row Styles area is to add borders around the elements. So for example, let's say I want a light line above my menu. I can go ahead and add that border there, top or bottom border. And then if we reload the page, we'll see I now have this black line here. If you want that line to extend all the way across, again, you would switch this to color extend full browser width, and then your borders will go to the edges too. Let's save so you can see what that would look like. So then you'll see the two borders that I just set go all the way to the edges as well. The last thing I want to show you is how to add a row within this one of your areas. So first, you'll need to add content like this by clicking on it, and then you add a row. You also are able to add multiple rows. Once you've added the first row, you can then click Add Row to add additional rows. Again, if you have too many rows, it's not going to look great. And there are some elements that require a higher, taller space. So for example, if I click this, you'll see a lot of elements grayed out, and they'll tell you over here why they're grayed out. So for instance, the search icon, I know it needs 50 pixels tall in order to add that. So it wouldn't be able to be added to this area. So then again, I could just drag it down, make sure it's 50 pixels high. You can see the height there and the width here. And now that will be a possibility. I can adjust any of these settings I'd like. And then again, I would click Save. So that is how you use the Site Designer to adjust your header or footer design. If you run into any issues, please submit a support ticket. You can do that in this Snow support area and then create a new support ticket. Just give it a subject, tell us what's going on, add a screenshot if needed, and then click Submit Support Ticket. That will send a message to us and we will get back to you as soon as possible, which is typically pretty quick within business hours.